vitality versus functionality. And so there's a huge distinction between the value that is created through vitality and the value that's created through functionality. And this is going to be a very confusing one for most of us. And when I say confusing, the reason I say that is because we have all spent our entire lives being rewarded for functionality. And we've been told to park that whole vitality thing and get into the functionality thing, because that's what makes us valuable, the functionality. So if we think about functionality, functionality means the ability to perform a task reliably, right? So if you've got high functionality, you're a task, you can do tasks really well, and you can function by performing that task over and over and over again. And everything else to performing that task is just noise, really. So, you know, that's the schooling system. The schooling system says, stop skipping and jumping and having a good old time. Sit in here and answer these maths questions, and that's what's valuable. Well, go down this list and add the word, blah, 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 right? Functionality. So we all went through that schooling system, and we basically said, this whole thing that makes you special and unique and interesting, that's not interesting. What makes you special and valuable is your ability to perform functions and tasks in a reliable way. So what's happening in an AI world is that the AI is going to do more and more functions and tasks, and what's left for humans is vitality. So what does vitality actually mean? Well, it's got two meanings. The first meaning of vitality is that you're full of life force. So vitality is life force energy. If you said, oh, that's got lots of vitality, it means life force energy. It's full of life. And the second meaning of vitality is that it's irreplaceable. You need one. You've got to have one of those. So a vital organ is an irreplaceable organ, or a vital ingredient means that it can't be made without that ingredient. So vitality is irreplaceable life force. Use that as the definition. So the thing that makes you valuable in the years ahead is not your functionality, your ability to perform tasks reliably. It's your irreplaceable life force. It's you becoming an irreplaceable life force of your industry. It's you being an irreplaceable life force in the community. It's you being an irreplaceable life force in the lives of others. It's actually raising the energy in the room that you're in, that if you're in that room, if you're in that space, something's happening that wouldn't have happened if you weren't there, right? People notice if you're gone. You are the one who raises the energy in the room. You're the one who brings life force in, and people feel like it's not the same if you're not there. That's what it means to be vital. So if we think about functionality, humans have always kind of like, you know, been weighed down by functionality. If we think about people doing all this laundry in this like tub and, you know, doing all that sort of stuff, men are down the mine, you know, digging the coal, right? Functionality. And then if we can free ourselves from that, now we're at TED Talks talking about things, philosophizing, having big ideas, and raising the energy of the room by sharing those big ideas. So we've got to kind of be less of this and more of this as we go. Now, in a very practical sense, AI generates the sponge cake, and it's your job to ice the cake, right? AI generates sponge cake. Your job is to ice the cake. So what we're going to see here is that AI is going to do about 80 to 90% of the work, but there's a missing ingredient. The vitality is you. You have to finish this thing. If you purely and simply just cut and paste the AI content, something's going to be missing. You're going to go, why is that not selling? Why is that not getting engagement? Because it's missing the vital ingredient. It's missing the vitality. And that's your ability to ice the cake. So if you open up a shop down on the high street and you say, oh, we just have sponge cake, no one's interested in just sponge cake. It's got to get the icing on the cake. And only if you do a great job of icing the cake will the sponge cake be any valuable. Now, is it wonderful to have AI building the sponge cake? Yes, it's wonderful. That is awesome if the AI builds the sponge cake, because that means you can focus on doing a better and better job on icing the cake. And in many respects, you don't want to think of AI as saving you time. You want to think of AI as moving your time into the vitality, right? You're still going to spend a ton of time and energy and effort getting things done, but you'll be doing the really exciting, interesting, engaging bit at the end. AI is going to do like the bulked, 1,500 words, but it will be the 300 or 400 words of edits that you do that bring it to life. It'll be the story from your client that brings it to life. It'll be the work that you did with a client and you captured a little nuanced example and you put that into the report. It'll be, a few key ingredients, stories, analogies, expressions, right? The way that you bring it to life, the icing on the cake will be what sells it. So you're still going to spend a ton of time and energy and creativity, but you've got to get used to this kind of vitality work, not functionality work. I know that sounds really woo-woo, airy-fairy stuff, but it's so where we're going, right? This idea that functionality is redundant and vitality is everything. You've got to say, is this work the work of bringing it to life? Is this the work of raising the energy in the room? That's the work that you've got to be doing now. You're in that business now.